again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Brown's Latest. I am Dave Grendzynski. You can call me Grizzer if you want. I don't mind. And this is where we get you caught up on some of the latest news that is tied to our favorite team. Yes, they're still our favorite team, despite what happened in London, the Cleveland Browns. And then in addition to catching you up on some of the news, we also provide our takes, our opinions, things like that. Not just me, we hear from you too. Through the viewer comments, thank you to everybody who jumps in there and makes their voices heard. Also, everybody who has liked our previous episodes. Hopefully this one's on the list. Everybody who has become members of the Browns' latest Dog Pound, and then all of you who have subscribed to the channel. We are climbing our way to 10,000 subscribers. When we get there, I always wear the orange quarter zip, but I always change it when we get a threshold. We cross a threshold on subscribers. So we get to 10,000. I've got lots of ideas for the fit. I'll change the fit when we get to 10,000. One option is go shirtless. So we'll just have to wait and see. But that's where we're at on all that. Now let's talk some football. So here, the reaction to yesterday's game is not good for Kevin Stefanski. And if he's not feeling the heat, he sure will be very soon. But I want to stay positive. So let's talk about the one encouraging thing that is pulsating positive vibes for our team each and every week. And an NFL insider reveals what I've been telling you about Shedeur Sanders for weeks. And then we're going to have some storylines as we head into this game with Pittsburgh, and in the viewer comments, an idea that's supposed to get me stoked. All right, well, we'll find out what that's all about. But first things first, if you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen. Here's where we'll start. We'll start with this. Kevin Stefanski feeling the heat. This is from ESPN Research. The Browns have scored 17 or fewer points in 10 straight games dating back to last season, tied for the longest streak in franchise history, which was in 1975. Thank you for that, ESPN. Appreciate it. It's the longest streak by any team since the 2007 49ers. That was 9. The last 10-game streak was by the 2000, it's 49ers again. Remember, we talked about this before. But here's the thing with this. Not only do you have this, you're not scoring points. You had a game yesterday where you had a rookie quarterback throw 2 touchdowns. You won the turnover battle, right? You did all these positive things and you still lost. And what's that go back to? Well, we're going to get to that in a second because he's going to be feeling it because the local guys are on him now. Here's my friend Andy Baskin on the right, and that's Daryl Ryder. This is his tweet. And they do radio here in Cleveland, 92.3. Andy and I work together in television. But you can see they're lamenting the offensive ineptitude and poor coaching late in that game that cost the Browns the win in London. But it's not just locally where people are screaming for change. Look at what RG3, our former quarterback, now an analyst on the college football games for Fox. I like RG3. I think he's a smart guy and knows what he's talking about. He says the Cleveland Browns had a rookie quarterback in Dillon Gabriel making his first career start and threw 2 touchdowns with no turnovers on foreign soil. Had a rookie running back run for 110 yards. Had a defense force 2 turnovers and get 3 sacks, and they still lost. That's a coaching issue. And this is what I mean. So I've been screaming this for the last 3 weeks on our little show, but I mean, I have my little show. Now you're starting to hear everybody chime in their own little way, basically saying that Kevin Stefanski should have his days numbered. This is, even the decision, like whoever was involved in this decision to take Dillon Gabriel in the 3rd round. Also, everybody, all of those people need to go because, look, I'm sure he's a nice kid. I'm sure that, I'm sure he's a nice kid. We'll just leave it at that. But when it comes to quarterbacking in the NFL, backup quarterback, like we've been saying all along, he limits your offense. We already have, so we took an offense that was already limited and limited it even more. There's a great comment coming up and that describes Dillon Gabriel perfectly. I will save it for the end because when they said it, I go, that is the perfect description because the offense didn't change at all with Dillon Gabriel. Actually, like I said, it got a little, so you got a little bit more mobility, but now you got a guy who can't see over the line and throw down the middle of the field. So you eliminate that. Can't throw to wide receivers because, they drop the ball. Judy drops the ball. If you throw it to Judy, he's probably going to drop it. Or they just can't get open. Or you can't throw it to him over the middle. Like it has to be an out or a flag or something. He can 80% of our plays went to the outside when we threw the ball. Like we can't throw he can't see over the line. 100%. You're not going to tell me any different. It's just not. Can you tell the voice is still doing its thing? I'm just saying. Where is this going to take us? This is not a franchise winning Super Bowl quarterback that we have here. There's nothing there. You can't stretch a defense with him at all. You just can't. And I'm sticking to it. So, Stefanski feeling the heat now, man, because it's not just me barking. It's everybody barking. So, what does Jimmy Haslam do? How long does he put up with this? Because people are already fed up. People are already sick of watching the same offense do nothing every single week. It is Stefanski's offense. It is Stefanski's play calls. It is his teacher's pet now at quarterback in Dillon Gabriel. And the result are always the same, which is offensive. We have an offense that is offensive. But I want to try and cheer you up. I know this is typically get it off your chest Monday, meltdown Monday, but we kind of did that yesterday because since the game was early, we posted after the game and kind of melted down there. And so we're changing it up a little bit today. But there's some encouraging news on a couple of fronts. The first thing we got to talk about is this report from Ian Rappaport. It's funny, report and port. The report from Rappaport that said a couple of things. And both of these things I've been telling you for months. I've been telling you this for months. And then we only listen when Ian Rappaport says it? Come on, man. Give me a break. Rappaport says the expectation is that Shedeur Sanders will play at some point this season. And when he does, it will be a full week of practice and a game plan built for him. The owner said we will see both rookies. I've been telling you that for weeks, for months now. Shedeur will play. He acknowledged that benching Flacco likely signaled that the team was entering evaluation mode, trying to get an understanding of what their quarterbacks are capable of. If the Browns elect to keep Deshaun Watson on the roster, which they will, as his entire 2026 salary is fully guaranteed, seeing him on the field would add to that valuation. But what's not going to happen this year, Watson is not going to play for the Cleveland Browns this year. And I'm telling you this, he's not going to play for the Cleveland Browns next year either because he is horrible. All they're doing is riding out that contract. That is it. They are dotting their I's and crossing their T's so they don't mess anything up. And they're really hoping Watson screws it up on his end so they can get some of his money back. They want to get that insurance money. All they're doing is playing nice in the sandbox with Watson. He will never, ever, ever take another snap for the Cleveland Browns again. We've seen enough. It's over. But here's the thing. If Gabriel somehow balled out the rest of the season, the Browns, I guess, could possibly possibly stay with the hot hand. But after what I saw yesterday, this is I just don't see it. This is Tua 2.0. That's it. And I don't even know, and I mean, I don't even know if he's as good as Tua. This might go down. We made the worst trade in the history of the NFL. This might go down as one of the worst. What a waste of a third-round pick. Like, I'm not saying, like he's going to be a good backup. But you don't use the third-round pick on a backup quarterback. But we did. Now, another thing, though. Here's the thing that really, if you want anything that is completely encouraging, it's this. The biggest positive so far, the play of these rookies. And I'll throw Gabriel in there because, the way Mason Graham's playing, Schlesinger, he's playing his butt off. You saw what Judkins can do. Of course, we don't get to see what Sampson can do because for some reason, Stefanski doesn't seem to want to use the SEC Offensive Player of the Year. Last I heard, the SEC was a pretty good conference in college football. I mean, if I'm wrong, hit me up in the comments. But I heard that. Somebody told me that there's some pretty good teams in that SEC. I don't know. Somebody called Alabama. Somebody called LSU. Somebody called Texas. Somebody called, there's some good Mississippi, I think, and Mississippi State. Is that one of the teams? Is it Georgia? I think Georgia might be in there. Yeah, he played for Tennessee and ran all over all those teams. But I don't know. That's not good enough for Stefanski. So he only gets one carry a game for us. Unflipping. This is the thing that's making me insane. Maybe, no, not the most. Everything is making me insane. But Gabriel's on the list. And Bond, we got to figure out a way to use him. Larvadan did a nice job yesterday. His first game is a regular season game. Aiden Huntington is pitching in. I like, but he's not playing defense, but he's blocking. He's got a few tackles. So that's encouraging news. But you watch these other games in the NFL, and these teams, these offenses just know how to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Us, no identity. You have no idea. Now we got Judkins running all over them, and when you should be running the ball, you're throwing passes, and then you get to the 10-yard line, and you're taking Judkins off the field. The hell is that about? You're going to probably get tired of me saying it, but this has to absolutely be a two-headed monster back there. This is Gibbs and Montgomery in Detroit. We have it, and we're not doing it. And we have an offense that hasn't, you just saw it. I just showed you the number. Haven't scored over 17 points in how many games? But you're not going to use the SEC Offensive Player of the Year. You're not going to use that guy in your offense in any way, shape, or form. Explain that to me. Explain it. There's no explanation. So, but the rookies, very encouraging. Very encouraging news on that front. So there's your positivity for the day when it comes to the Cleveland Browns. No more Watson, and the rookies are good. So the storylines heading into the Pittsburgh game, that's great. I was all excited. I thought we were going to beat Minnesota. We're going to have some momentum going in. And it's the complete opposite because of Stefanski and his horrible coaching decisions. I still can't. I don't understand how you throw that ball with 3 minutes to go. How the hell do you throw that ball and stop the clock? And then, as they're driving, you call a timeout for them. In what world does that make any sense? And the time, it's turning into a meltdown Monday anyway. Look at this. The Browns will do that to you. Can I just get this in? The clock management too. The clock management at the end of the half. Just all of it. Just ridiculous. Oh my gosh. Storylines. Can Dillon Gabriel handle the Steelers crowd? Because, that was a neutral site. So you had a mix of Browns and Vikings fans in London. I'm sure the Pittsburgh fans will take it easy on the rookie, right? Sure. Think he'll be able to handle that crowd? How will we show any sort of imagination on offense? Are we going to be able to run the ball and maybe get Sampson involved and get Bond involved? Run some jet sweeps with Bond? I don't know. Call me crazy. Will the Browns stay committed to the run? Or will he turn around and try to throw 50 days? I mean, we still threw the ball more than we ran it yesterday. So it was closer. I don't know why we didn't do that with Flacco. We throw it 50 and run it 20. At least we were 33 and 32 passes yesterday. We got to get Sampson involved. Nobody understands that. Here's a big one. I mean, the talk of Stefanski losing his job is already starting. I mean, it started with me 3 weeks ago. But I just have this little show. How long can he hold on to his job? That's going to be a storyline heading into this week. And then, how about this? Here's the storyline. Maybe the defense just goes out and wins this game on their own. Because the special teams and the offense, they're not helping. So, we'll see. We'll see as the week develops. And the viewer comments today, I mean, this is another one. There were so many, man. I wanted to just try to put them all in. One of these days, maybe I'll do like a talk show format where I'll just read the viewer comments and answer questions and do it because there's so many. There's so many good ones. It's hard to get them all in. But I watered it down and here we go. We'll start with James Scratch KO 666 who says, and he described Dillon Gabriel in a very appropriate way. He said, "So glad the Browns used a pint-sized Flacco. Same amount of points, no win." I mean, that's exactly what we saw. We saw a pint-sized. We had a little bit more mobility, but still a lot of limitations because you can't throw over the middle. You can't see. It's just dumb. You can't run. You put him in there, but you can't run draws or anything with him. You can't do anything. Your Boule, he's not running. He's not a threat to run. He ran that one. He had two carries for 5 yards, I think. They run him down he's not quite Bernie Kosar with the cement shoes, but I told you, folks, he wouldn't run at the combine. He's so slow. Incognito. Oh, by the way, James Scratch ended his with the Stefanski has to go. Incognito fee, 76-23. Dillon did good, and he will be a great backup QB. Coaching, he says his quarterback coaching sucks. Judkins is the real deal. Totally agree. Gave the Browns a chance to win. Dillon can't do rollout every down, and when he sits in the pocket, he can't see or the ball gets batted down. Teams will study Dillon after this game. That's what I said yesterday. I already told you there were going to be balls batted down. I already told you they have to move the pocket in order he's going to throw. And now teams have tape on him, which makes it even worse. It's going to make it even harder. You are absolutely right, Incognito. Easy Dinger. Fire Kev, promote the defensive coordinator. We've been saying that for 3 weeks. Let him call the defense, but also that is where Kevin gets himself in trouble. Oh my gosh. He goes, might as well hire James Franklin if this front office doesn't truly want to win. He isn't good. James Franklin, no. We don't want James Franklin because talk about an underachieving program. Penn State. We are underachieving. That's what they should be saying at those games. But no, I do agree with the whole Fire Kev part. Crash Brandon 10. I think Dillon, as well as the Browns as a whole, could benefit from better or different play calling. You know what, Crash Brandon? I 100% agree with you. Dillon can produce, but under the right circumstances. Potentially, remember, I told you, if the play calling was it doesn't matter who's quarterbacking this team. With the way the play calling and the decision making that's going on, they're all limitations. We're always going to be limited. We need a fresh perspective on offense. We need Kevin Stefanski completely out of the way. This is a crash and burn. You got to knock this is an implosion and rebuild it, man. Jeffrey Chavez. Could be Chavez, but I think it's Chavez. Says, itty bitty dilly can't connect downfield longer than 20 yards. He can't see and is inaccurate. I'm not the only one who saw it. We all saw it. We all saw it. Okay, and you know me. I like to end on a positive note. And so we're going to end with Victory Way, who says, hey, Grizzer, here's an idea that ought to get you stoked. This is what we talked about at the start of the show. He says, hey, Grizzer, here's an idea that ought to get you stoked. Whenever you get to 10,000, how about wearing shoulder pads with whatever fit you have in mind? I mean, at most, it would only be for about a half hour, dude. Go Browns. Yeah, I mean, gave me an idea for something I could add to the fit at 10,000. It's got to be special, man. When we get to 10,000, it's got to be special. But he gave me an idea, and I appreciate it. Somebody said I should put on lipstick and wear a dress or something. But like that won't be the fit. I can tell you that. But football equipment could be involved. I could probably arrange that. And, and the Judkins jersey, that's another. Judkins, man, he played his, man, he looks so good. And I feel we get the same thing out of Sampson. And they're both potential. And look at Judkins hit a home run, but of course we had a penalty, call it back. Dillon Sampson and Quinshon Judkins we've been talking about it for weeks. Both of those guys, they are ticking time bombs, just waiting to explode and get to the end zone on any given play at any time. But we will not put Sampson on the field. Don't get it. Okay, that's going to do it for today's show. Thank you so much for joining us. Get your comments down there in the viewer comment section. There's nothing, what's Stefanski going to say anymore? I'm tired of we got to do better. Got to do better. No, it's you, man. It's you. And everybody, just watch and wait. The groundswell is coming. It's not just my little show anymore. It's everybody. Everybody around this team. All right, go Browns. We'll see you next time.